And this is Ken Kreitzer for the Direct Marketing Club of New York and CBSI Services, and we're at the Data Innovator of the Year Award presented by the Direct Marketing Club of New York, and get a chance to speak to the gentleman who's going to present to the honoree, and that is Dr. Charles Stryker from Venture Development Center. And Charles, it seems like a great event, great venue here on 26th Street, the Museum of Math, and a great evening. I know you're going to present to the honoree. What are your thoughts about the evening?
Yeah, it's a great event, and I've been here a couple years in a row. I was lucky enough to win this honor 2 years ago, so they asked me to come back and present to Joe, and I'm happy to do it. It's a great event, interesting people talking about one of the most interesting subjects, and that's kind of data, the evolution of it, how it's evolving, and how it's being used. So it's a great event for data scientists for sure.
Absolutely, and I know the honoree's company is involved with programmatic advertising around the world, a field that has just grown leaps and bounds, you know, feeding Facebook and Google and other types of digital media. What are your thoughts about the growth of programmatic advertising?
Yeah, it's when you are involved in it every day, and if you step back, it's really amazing the technology that underlies programmatic advertising. In that, think of, you know, thousands of publishers all trying to optimize how they sell their advertising. At the same time, thousands of brands trying to optimize how the advertising performs for them. And there has to be a technology that pulls all that together, and it involves a spectrum of disciplines: computer science, data science, analytics, high volume data delivery. These are all very complex things that 10 years ago, no technology existed to do any of this at scale. So it's really an amazing, I think it's in a way a footprint of what's to come when you think about the whole data-driven decisioning world, Internet of Everything, data-driven decisioning on every application you can think of, from personal finance to health to travel. This is kind of the model of the future. So it's really exciting to kind of get under the covers and see how it all works.
Absolutely, and you've got a special degree in computer science, and maybe if you just tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so my whole career has been in addressed at one problem: how do you extract the most information possible out of massive amounts of data? I started that as a scientist, a data scientist, looking at that problem, and got involved building companies and investing in companies. And started the company I have today, a Venture Development Center, 3 years into the internet. That was 1996, because I saw the opportunity to capture, analyze, structure all kinds of new data that would come out of this new technology. And it's turned out to be really a very interesting, exciting business, because every year there's a whole new spectrum of data that shows up at the doorstep that you can use to solve very complicated problems that a couple of years ago you couldn't begin to solve.
Absolutely, and we see, you know, several major companies, certainly Facebook, Google, and several others. Where is this industry going? What would we be talking about a few years from now if we came to this event?
Yeah, I think the most interesting dynamic in the data industry today is there are thousands of companies that have data as a byproduct of what they do. The data they have describes human and business behavior at a level of detail that's never been available before. So whether it's, you know, how you use your cell phone, how you watch your television, how you wander the internet, all of this data is slowly being captured and organized, and the benefit of this is declaring itself everywhere, where, you know, people can now ask questions of systems and get valuable answers, where 2 years ago you couldn't do that in any form. And there's all kinds of analytic platforms kind of recently being labeled cognitive computing, where this data is fed into a system and the system figures out answers that only humans could do before. A good quick example is, I noticed that IBM, with their Watson program, developed a system for returning veterans. So the veteran returning's not sure what skills they have that are useful in business, not sure where they should live, not sure where they should apply for jobs. So the system looks at their Facebook information with their permission, and analyzes all the jobs, all the cities, all their friends, all their interactions, and says, given what you value and what you do in your life, here's the suggestion of where to live, and here's a suggestion of what jobs you should pursue, and here's the companies we think might hire you. So without that system, what do vets do? They kind of ask their friends and family, what do you think I should do? I know something about nuclear science. Where should I go? What should I do? Well, the Watson can answer that question with precision because they see hundreds of thousands of these people and understand how people's lives relate to what they'd be interested in and what would make them happy and what would lead them to a path of success. So it's all very interesting. And that's one of 100 examples.
Oh, absolutely. I do a lot of work with veterans through the American Legion, and finding jobs for our returning members of the military is so important. And I'll have to check out that program at IBM Watson on how it works and see if we can help promote it. Dr. Charles Stryker from Venture Development Center presenting tonight at the Data Innovator of the Year Awards. Great to see you.
Hey, thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate the few minutes on your channel, so thanks so much.
My pleasure. This is Ken Kreitzer in New York City for the Direct Marketing Club of New York and CBSI Services.